Welcome to today's Q&A. Hey, we're talking trucking here at Decker Truck Line. We'll talk about the specific miles, pay, home time, all that good stuff. But before we do, since yesterday was Labor Day, we missed out on birthdays and anniversaries, and I want to make sure that we are celebrating those who were born or hired within the first week of September. So let's back up a little bit and do a little celebration here. So let's see, who do we have? It's already September, which means, you know what? We are coming up on Driver Appreciation Week pretty darn quick. There's a lot going on. So, yeah. All right. Yesterday, celebrating some birthdays. Umar Blanding celebrated a birthday yesterday. Brandon Layton also celebrated a birthday yesterday. And Marvin Terrebonne. So, happy birthday, Marvin, Brandon, and Umar. Congrats, you guys. Today, Blake Olson celebrates a birthday. Happy birthday. Tomorrow, Alexa Anderson and Andrea Emerson celebrating birthdays coming up on the 3rd. Yeah. Oh, Carl Brock, Davlin McKim, James Reese also celebrating the birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow the 3rd. Am I missing anybody for the 4th? I know Nicholas Kelly is celebrating a birthday on the 5th, and so is Mark Sweat. Anybody else? And then Brentford Ellis celebrates a birthday coming up on the 6th. And Robert Meredith, Diana Rosales also celebrating on the 6th. Yeah. And then Sunday the 7th, James Ebinger. 7th? Yes, the 7th. And then we're just starting another week again. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. So guess what? Oh, okay. I'm a little excited, so I'll just wait. Also for anniversaries, I know you guys, I tell you what. Hey Mike, how are you? Let's see. So anniversaries. Bethany Armbuster celebrates an anniversary tomorrow, and Colton Cope. Happy anniversary. Yesterday. Nope, not yesterday. What, am I missing anybody for yesterday? No first. David Hemp celebrates 11 years today. Happy 11th anniversary. Margaret Strait also celebrates a birthday today. 5 years for Maggie. And Brian Silvero celebrates 21 years. Congratulations, Brian. 21 years. If you see him, make sure you give him a big old shout out. Also yesterday, today is the 2nd. I gotta put that in my head there. William Hobby celebrated a 5-year anniversary, so happy anniversary. And who else coming up here? Bethany and Colton tomorrow. Gary Broadhead coming up on the 5th. Happy anniversary, Gary. Gary's celebrating his 2-year. Scott Farrell and Patrick Jones both celebrating their 1 year coming up on the 5th. And the rest is the following week. All right. Happy anniversary. Mike, I just received the news. That's actually where I was going to go. You are a rock star. So Mike Snyder over there in the comments, in the chat, if you see him, give him a big wave and a shout out. Today was the first day that you could not start nominations for the Best Fleets to Drive For. I got a notification that, hey, Best Fleets to Drive For notifications start now. And I don't know, within the half hour at least, Mike had already nominated us, and I got another notice saying, hey, nominated for Best Fleets to Drive For. Kudos. So how cool is that? I love it. Thank you so much. This will be our, oh man, how many years now? Is this year number 4 for us? Or year number 5? 22, 23, 24, 25. There we go. And then this is this last year for 2025 Best Fleets to Drive For. We are also named the best overall fleet to drive for. So this year number 5. Holy smokes. This is fantastic. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Jody Anderson, how are you? Hey, everyone. New guy. Good to have you, Jody. Thank you for being here. Oh, awesome. So what should we talk about? Should we talk about some of the available positions here? For those of you who are interested, hi, Jody. Yeah, so for those of you who are interested in coming aboard to Decker, being part of the team, one team, one goal, we do have a number of different positions, mostly flatbed and refrigerated, currently available. Uh, I'd say refrigerated, or excuse me, flatbed right now is definitely the strongest market that we're looking at in growth for us. So we're staying steady with the refrigerated, but definitely with the flatbed, we're seeing a lot of growth. So if you're looking for flatbed opportunities, we have Home Weekly. Honestly, the best locations for us right now that we're looking for is out of the Chicago area, Milwaukee, um, most of Iowa, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, and north. Louisville, Kentucky. You're looking over into Toledo, back on over. Now we do hire beyond that as well, but I would say the majority. That's the word I wanted. The majority of our growth in freight is right there in that area. So, and for that reason, we do have a higher sign-on bonus in that area as well. Actually, that's our currently where we do have a sign-on bonus. It's an $8,000 sign-on bonus for our Midwest Flatbed division, Home Weekly, and you're looking at getting home usually on a Friday night or Saturday morning, and then back out either Sunday night or early Monday morning for the Midwest Flatbed. So there's that. And the $8,000 sign-on bonus, that pays out at 6, 9, and 12 months. So on your 1 year. What do I want to say? The 6 months, you'll get $2,000 on your 6-month anniversary, $2,000 on your 9-month, and $4,000 on your 1 year. So that's the $8,000 total for that sign-on bonus. Now the rate of pay per mile, that depends on your experience. And the more experience you have, the higher the rate of pay per mile. So in the flatbed division, let me actually, where my flatbed, we do offer training in that Midwest flatbed, but it's limited to availability, like the number of trainers that we currently have available. So if you don't have experience, if you're a recent graduate, you might have a little bit of a wait period in order to get started. But best thing to do is just call into our recruiting department, find out how long that wait list is and when you could get started if that's something you're interested in. Again, if that's Midwest Flatbed. Ideally, we are looking for someone who has experience, but how are you going to get experience if you don't get training? So for those of you who, are new to the industry, we understand that. But anyways, the telephone number that's coming across the screen, that one, 877-233-2537. That's the number to the recruiting department. So Bryce or Bryce, Brian, or Mitch can help you out and answer those questions for you. Sound good? Mike says this is one of the best fleets I've ever driven or that I've ever drove for, and the only fleet that goes above and beyond for their drivers. Thank you, Mike. I love it. I love it. I love it. Josh says, hey, Josh. Josh says, agreed, Mike. Great equipment, too. Yes, our equipment is, I'll talk more about the Midwest Flatbed here in just a second, but as far as our equipment, most of them are the 579 Peterbilts. We do have a variety of trucks, but I want to put this out there right away. Most of our trucks are the 579 Peterbilts. They are very well maintained. If you're coming into Decker, if you're going to be new to Decker, I'm not guaranteeing you that you'll get a 579, even though the odds are definitely in your favor. It just depends on what's currently available. So I'm going to give you a whole list of what we have so that you are prepared for what may be available. So most of them are the 579 Peterbilts. Yes, we have some 589s. We also have some 389s. Those are usually set aside for more experienced drivers, those drivers who have been here at Decker for 15 plus years. They get to spec them a little bit, a few little extras, a little bit more chrome, so those are the 589s and the 389s. Those are usually for our more veteran drivers. But the 579s, beautiful trucks, very well equipped. They're all just like the other ones. We also have some Volvos. We have some 760 and 860 Volvos. 760, 860 Volvos. And a few For flatbed, 5 or 740 Volvos as well. So for the flatbed division, you can expect a 740 as well. And then a few Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. So those are the variety of trucks that we have. They all come very well equipped. You're looking at 22 and newer, I believe, right now, on an average age of about 18 months. So they are newer trucks, very well maintained. They have double bunks. They have, here's a whole list. So double bunks, they have refrigerators, and some of them are like dorm fridge. Some of them are, 3.2. They're bigger refrigerators than you've seen in the past. We have TVs in all of the trucks. They're 22-inch smart TVs. They come with Epic View streaming and free Wi-Fi. So if you want to, stream on your phone or whatever, we have those. The smart TVs are, like I said, 22-inch HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, the whole Epic View, 100 plus channels. Decker pays for you, so that subscription is yours to use. Microwaves. Did I say microwave? We have a microwave in all the trucks. APU, of course, an inverter in order to run everything. And we do have CBs in all of the trucks. We do have Lytx, which is our safety unit, inward and outward facing event recorders, lane departure, speed gauge, following distance, the whole 9 yards there. Actually, I say that, but Lytx offers a ton of options. We don't opt in for the live feed. So I know that's a concern for some people. No worries, we don't opt in for it, so you don't have to stress. But we do have both the inward and outward facing event recorders. So they'll do, I believe, 10 seconds on each side. Yeah. But yeah, really nice equipment, very well maintained. Trailers are newer model as well. Mostly the Great Danes, carriers for reefer, and then Wilsons for the flatbed. Am I missing anything as far as amenities for the trucks? Because there are a lot. How about stocked fridge? Jody, that sounds wonderful, especially if someone had just gone hunting. But no, they are very well, like they are 3.2. I think there might be a couple that were the smaller 1.9, but I'm not sure how many of those are actually left. I think most of them are the larger ones. But yeah, no, not yet. But, when you come aboard to Decker, next week, actually, you know what? Maybe, because not next week. I got one more week. I'm getting a little excited for Driver Appreciation Week. But coming up on the 14th through the 20th, my calendar's over here, that's what I'm looking at. The 14th through the 20th, we've got Driver Appreciation Week. And we like to do food for Driver Appreciation Week. So maybe you'll be able to stop in and maybe stock that up a little bit. Or at least get a meal out of it, right? Yes. All right. So back to that flatbed position, the 14, I don't think I even mentioned this. It's $14.50 a week. Yes, your rate of pay per mile is based on your experience level, but there's that safety net, right? We have a minimum pay. So that $14.50 a week is what that safety net is for that Midwest flatbed position, home weekly. If your miles and your rate of pay, that was a bird. My windows must be clean, or were. They're not anymore. I just got hit by a bird. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, if the rate of pay per mile, your rate of pay per mile, and the miles you run, if they exceed the $14.50, you'll get the better of the two. Okay? And ideally, that's what we're going for. We're not looking, that minimum pay, that is not a goal. That is not, that's not the end all. Our goal is to go over and above that. Of course, that's better for the company. It's better for you. You want to make the better of the two. Hey, Sean, how are you? Sean, did you come home today or come home this weekend? I was trying to figure out who it was, if it was you or Lyle, because I didn't see the truck number, and I was waving to beat all. I was trying to get attention. My husband was honking the horn. We were headed to a football game. No. Oh, I thought it was sure it was you. Anyways, so yeah, we have have all kinds of amenities, and when it comes to the rate of pay, the $14.50 is that minimum safety, more like a safety net. So, and of course, you got to be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week for that one. Get your paperwork in. No load refusals. No service failures. So no late loads. All of those to get you going. Okay, if you have more questions, either put them in the chat or call recruiting. The number is here somewhere. 877-233-2537. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's our Midwest flatbed. Now we have our over-the-road flatbed as well. And then that's usually home about every other. We can't guarantee you all home on the weekends, but, like the full 48, but we do have at least a 34 for those home weekly. And then, of course, the 48. Or, for every 2 weeks out, you're looking for a longer home time. So 48 at least. Cool. Yeah. And then when it comes to running lanes for the over-the-road division, you could run all 48, but most of that freight, we don't really go out west in our Midwest flatbed, in our flatbed divisions for running lanes. You're not really going to go west of Denver. So really heavy in the Midwest. Even if you are looking to hire on and get home on a weekly basis around the Bessemer, Alabama, or Atlanta, Georgia area, because we do have a home weekly out of there. But even if you're looking for a home weekly there, you can still expect to run into the Midwest at least once a week. That's pretty common. Very, very common, actually. Not pretty, very. All right. We've got some refrigerated options too. So if you're looking to run refrigerated, we actually have a guaranteed home weekly opportunity out of the, I want to say Midwest, but it's more like towards like Ohio, Toledo, so still Midwest, but not Midwest. Yeah, Toledo, Detroit area, Indianapolis, I believe. That might be a little far south, but yeah. So we have a couple areas or one area, I guess I should say, that we do hire for our home weekly refrigerated. If that's something you're interested in, give us a call. We do guarantee you home on the weekends for that one. You are looking at some shorter runs, so keep that in mind, because we've got to keep you, in order to guarantee you home on the weekends and running 5 days, we do need to keep you in the area a little bit more. So you are probably looking at some shorter runs in that neck of the woods. But yeah, so good opportunity there. Rate of pay per mile is anywhere from 55 cents a mile for someone who has just 6 months of experience, up to 65 cents a mile to start. That's to start. Our cap is at 70 cents, so you figure, you get a penny raise after 90 days, you get a penny raise annually, so you got a little bit of growth there. 4 times. Holy smokes, Sean. Well, it's this weekend, Sean, you were saying that, I think you were saying this coming weekend is when you were looking at a bike parade, like a rally, right? Is that right? Coming up on the 6th, I think you said? Have to let me know again. So yeah, that's what we currently have available in the refrigerated division, and as well as an option for 11 days out and 3 days home. That one opens up. So the longer out that you can do, the more opportunity there is. More, not only the more the rate of the pay per mile, but more mile opportunity. So say if the hiring area is bigger too, actually, for that matter. So if you are in areas of Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Colorado, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan is what I meant to say. But yeah, Detroit. Ohio, did I say Indiana? Pennsylvania, Tennessee. Of course, anywhere from Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, and we have got some opportunity for you in the refrigerated. So yeah, that is going to be 11 days out and 3 days home. and then that's the minimum pay of $1,000. We also have a minimum pay of $1,000 for the OTR division. Remember, and I totally am stressing this, your minimum pay is a safety net. Do not expect that to be your high end. It is not meant to be. It is just meant to be a safety net, okay? And when I say it that way, maybe you didn't get the miles that week for one reason or another. Maybe the shipper or receiver or maybe the equipment. Yes, we have detention, we have layover, we have mechanical breakdown. We have all of those, but that doesn't mean that there aren't still instances where you need that bit of cushion. Riley, you're in Montana today, huh? Awesome, man. Waving at you as you go by. You be careful. Should be a beautiful day. Looking out the window, although it looks pretty. Mountains are probably pretty sunk in with smoke. It's that time of year. I've actually been really, really blessed that we haven't had to deal with a lot of that this year. As much, at least, right? So yeah, we've got the over-the-road option, 11 days out, 3 days home, and then if you want to stay out 2 to 3 weeks at a time, you have that option. Out west, Montana, Oregon, Northern Oregon, like Pendleton, Hermiston, Portland, those areas, and of course the state of Washington, Salt Lake City area, areas of Nevada, Arizona. We've got Tucson and Phoenix that we're hiring out of, Colorado. All of those areas, we can get you home every 2 to 3 weeks for 4 to 5 days. So you've got options. If you're out west, expect a little bit longer out time, and then of course a little bit more home time when you're at home, because we figure for every 7 days you're out, it's a day and a half home time. So it gives you a little bit more balance. So bringing the truck home with you on your home time, whether you're in Montana or now, right? Montana or Indiana, Iowa, wherever you're at. Yeah, bringing the truck home with you on your home time. You make the arrangements for parking on your home time. But good opportunities. If you guys are interested, it's 877-233-2537. All right. So, did I miss any of them? Refrigerated, flatbed, OTR, more regional. The regional right now is out weekly in both of those. Talked a little bit about equipment. What about benefits? Benefits. We have coming up on Wednesday, the Principal Financial. Principal is who we use for our 401k. They are putting on a webinar to help you to better understand your 401k. And actually, I think, is that the 5th? Oh, coming up at the end of the week is actually 401k day. So did you even know? There's a day for everything. But 401k day is coming up at the end of the end of the week. Mike is asking, is there any new freight for the reefer? There may have been some new awards or new contracts or updated contracts, but I have not gotten the rundown on those yet. So we'll have to look for those. I've been seeing a lot of flatbed, but I haven't been seeing the announcements necessarily for the refrigerated, just because flatbed has been so predominant. There we go. But I'll look into that for you, Mike. Yeah. Now that I say that, though, there was one with the Home Weekly. That is one that had opened up because there were more freight lanes on that one too. For the refrigerated, like Toledo area for reefer. Yeah, so I'll get more details on that. But as far as the benefits do start after 60 days. It's APLOS, so you have health, dental, vision. We have prescription. The prescription is great, by the way. Good coverage. You've got $0 copays available to you. Not necessarily all through the same Med1, but Med1 for generic. And then we have specialty and brand name opportunities for the $0 copay as well. So if you do take a prescription, there could be a ton of savings for you guys, which is a huge plus. We have the 401k, like I mentioned, we've got 401k day coming up, but no, in reality, it is a 25% match on that 401k. Yeah. I thought I saw something come through, but if I missed your guys' comment, I apologize. I'm not. I thought I saw another one, and now I don't see it. So I apologize if I was ignoring you, but it wasn't on purpose. I swear. Okay, so what else for the benefits? We have short-term and long-term disability. We have, of course, additional life insurance, 10,000 company paid on you, 5,000 on spouse, and you can, increase that amount too. I know it's very affordable. That's what I ended up doing. Short-term disability, accidental death and disability. What else? There's a lot of coverage options. You could go crazy with that. Of course, we have our EAP program, which is our employee assistance program. That is free to all of our Decker employees and families, and that's because that's company paid, and it covers just about anything you can think of when it comes to assistance in dealing with adoption or long-term care, making those adjustments, even trusts and estate planning. I mean, there is so much. There's also counseling involved in that, not in the estate planning necessarily, but I mean like in the EAP program. There's 3 counseling sessions that are available to you, and that will help provide support. And then if you need to go further for that, they will help find you that, especially if you have the Decker insurance, because then they can help, kind of correlate all of that with you. What am I missing? The EAP program has a ton of stuff to it, and then the Blue 365, yeah. Aflac, very good. Yeah, the short-term, long-term disability. Yep, that's what I have too. That's right, Sean. Just in case. Covering my grounds, right? But yeah, the 401k and the insurance, they all start after 60 days. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can get the app, Applos app on your phone. So you can, if you need a refill, going through maybe Med1 or whatever, you can get your refills on your prescriptions. We have the virtual doctor as well, so you can access that online on your phone. So you don't have to make an appointment to go in, and if you've got a fever or if you've got, I don't know, something bothering you, you can usually do the virtual doctor as well. I've used that. It works pretty well. Now, not everything, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll be able to do like a partial diagnosis, and then they'll have you confirm. Not always, but they'll schedule an appointment for you at a nearby facility if they need to. I've only had to do that once, I think. Most of the time, so I got a frog in my throat. Most of the time, they just, they can help you over the phone, and it's just a video. This is my camera. It's just a video, video like diagnosis, just conversation. So yeah, a video visit. There we go. Virtual doctor. So you've got that available to you right away as well. Yeah. Oh, when I say right away, I meant 60 days, like right away when your insurance starts. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we, talking about all the different positions and stuff, but in order to qualify for Decker, you do need to have a clean driving record. There are things that we can work with, but ideally, you have a clean driving record and you've got experience. If you say you have a ticket or a moving violation, as long as it's not a major moving violation and you just have one within the last 12 months or so, then you should be okay. Again, if it's a major moving violation, like an erratic lane change or a following too close or reckless, careless, anything like that, those will have to be at the very minimum 3 years old. If you have a 10 over speeding ticket, we can work with 10 over. 15 over has to be 3 years old. But if you have a 10 over speeding ticket, yeah, we can work with that. If you have more than 2 in the last 12 months, or if you have more than 2 in the last 3 years, then we'd have to wait until those start falling off before we move forward. You just wouldn't qualify at that point. Okay. Same with DOT recordable accidents. We cannot work with a DOT recordable, preventable DOT recordable within the last 3 years. We can work with an incident, like maybe you had a turning or a backing incident. We can usually work with those as long as they are not DOT recordable. If you have something like that within the last 3 years, we can usually work with that. Mm-hmm. No DUIs, DWIs, nothing like that within the last 5 years. You know, especially if it's in a commercial. AI? What? Yeah, none of that either. What else? That's the norm for qualifying. 21 years of age and pretty much clean driving record. Now, if you are brand new to the trucking industry and you are, if you're a recent graduate and then you're looking to come aboard in training, we do offer training. It's first you have your 5 days of orientation, and then you'll have your 2 to 3 weeks with a trainer. Okay. So normally this is how the onboarding, I'm going to call it onboarding, how our onboarding goes on. So once you're approved, okay, you've met the qualifications, you know that, check, right? Okay. Then you have your physical and your drug tests. Now, as far as drug tests, we do both the hair follicle and the urinalysis. As far as the physical, if your physical is good for another 6 weeks or 6 months to a year or whatever, we could probably use that one. You'll just need to send us the long form, send it to your recruiter. They'll get it signed off on, make sure we're approved to move forward, and then we'll just schedule you for your drug tests instead of the drug tests and the physical. Now, if you need all of them, if you still need to update your physical, then we'll get your physical done, and then of course the drug test, hair follicle, and the urinalysis. One thing I want to note though, and I don't usually mention this, but as far as your physical, now if your physical is already expired, you don't meet our qualifications. You have to update your physical in order to have a valid Class A CDL, right? This hasn't been an issue for a while, but it is something that I've seen in the past. So if you are looking to come aboard to Decker and you need a new physical, you have to take care of that first. Well, because you have a new physical, we wouldn't have you take another one. We would just set you up for your drug tests, right? But we would still need that long form from you in order to have it on file for us. So there you go. Oh, AI doctor, Joey. Probably to some point. Probably. There's an AI for that. Just kidding. So yeah, we've got the 2 drug tests and of course the physical. And once you've taken care of that, then you go on to the next step, which is our online orientation. So the online orientation, it consists of a number of modules. Online modules, obviously. It could be a video, it could be an interactive image, it could be an article, and then you go through that module, either watch it or click on it and learn about it, and then you'll answer the questions, the correlating questions for each section. Once you're done with that, once you finish that module, you'll go on to the next. So you complete that online orientation before you even come to Fort Dodge. So by the time you get to Fort Dodge, you've got your physical, your drug test, and your online orientation completed. So check. Yeah, okay. So take care of all of that ahead of time. And then when you come into Fort Dodge, we will finish up the orientation. That's the in-person. You'll meet with the different management. You'll meet your driver leader and your recruiter. You'll, just kind of get a good understanding of the company, and what we have to offer, what we can do for you, how we're supporting you, and all that good stuff. For orientation, we set you up in a hotel. Well, first of all, we'll get you a rental car or a flight. If you're coming from Seattle, Washington, you might want a flight instead of driving over for orientation, but depends on you. We'll take care of the gas, of course. And then if it's a car, not if it's a flight. But I think I'm funny. The video consultant. But you're not wrong, Jody. You are not wrong. There's always some lag, right? So yes, orientation is in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We'll put you up in a hotel. We're not shacking you up with anybody. These are solo rooms. We'll start orientation on Monday morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for an experienced driver. It's just 3 days. Okay. If you are a student, then you're looking, or if you're new, you just graduated, I should say. Then you will actually have a full week of orientation, so Monday through Friday, before going with a trainer. So, and then of course, if you are flatbed, you'll have your securement and tarp training in addition to orientation as well. We want to make sure that we take care of that. Okay. All right. So, what am I missing? Oh, we pay you $500 for completing orientation. Sorry, I was still reading Jody's comment, even though I had already read it. But yes, orientation pays $500 for completing it, whether it's a 5-day for a student or it's a 3-day for our experienced drivers. And then we put you to work. That's what you came for, right? Yeah, and then we'll have you get you going, get you seated. The maintenance department will walk through the truck with you so that you're familiar with all of the gadgets, right? Getting familiar with that. Yeah, check. That's right, Sean. So getting you ready with all the gadgets and stuff. So when I say gadgets, I mean like all the amenities, the APU, the refrigerators, the microwave. I don't think you need to worry about running the refrigerator. Although I want to say, if you are cleaning out the refrigerator, like the freezer, right? Because if it frosted over, unplug that sucker, okay? Unplug it, put some towels around it, soak up that water. Don't be going after it like Jason on Friday. Don't chip away at that sucker. Yeah. Okay, there's my 2 cents on that one. Fair enough. Oh, I also wanted to give a heads up in the Facebook group, in our Decker driver group. I did post this morning a reminder of the Des Moines area, the parking in the Des Moines shop, so that you guys could take a look at that. We just had we had somebody, or a couple of people, I guess, parking in the wrong location over the weekend, and so I had a couple of calls on it. So I just want to make sure that you have that reminder and are aware of where to park. And then, of course, idling is important. Not to idle if you don't have to. We had some beautiful days, 68, 70-degree weather. And so we want to keep down on the idling too. So, there was more. What are my other reminders? September 8th. Next Monday? What? What did I miss? Oh, is that the, no, that's not right. Oh, for orientation, Jody? Starting orientation on the 8th? I'm like, what? Checkity check. Yes. Orientations start on Mondays. So, and then we pay you $500 for completing that, put you to work, all that good stuff. But the cool thing is that maintenance department does walk through that. So if you have never had an APU unit in your truck, or, didn't know where your inverter was, or trying to even run the TV, right? Because there's a lot of amenities in that thing. We've got them there for you. They'll take care of you. And the maintenance department has also put together a few videos that you can access on our YouTube channel. It's a whole playlist of goodies that you can access either through our YouTube channel or on our TransFlow app, which actually leads to our YouTube channel with the respected videos. I heard that your physical will be digital, won't get any forms. That doesn't surprise me, but I have not heard that. Let's look it up. There's an AI for that. I want to find out. That would be interesting. I have not heard that, and I feel like I should have. Let's see. Will let's see. Will DOT physicals be digital instead of physical forms now? Just the form itself? Is that what you're saying? We're going to find out. Let's make sure it's a legit source. Beginning? Oh, yeah. Maybe I should have known that already. So as of the 23rd of June this year, they did, okay, this is starting to ring a bell. They did transition from paper forms to digital only for nearly all CDL drivers. Medical examiners will be required to upload exams. Oh yes, I did know that. Because I knew that they were taking on the responsibility of uploading the exams, but yeah, all right. I didn't realize they were only going to be digital. Anyways, FMCSA, that's where the medical examiners are required to send them. So cool beans. Paper forms will no longer be accepted. You heard correct, Mr. Mike Snyder, as I'm changing names and where are we at? You are correct. Yes. Real-time updates, which is so nice. Do you remember? I remember when they announced that actually, because we were all excited because they had. It's sad how things start to come together here for me, but no, when they announced it, we were all thankful because some states they delayed the whole process significantly, and so then we'd have to wait and make a big. Some people would have to wait to get started because it took so long for their physical stuff date. It was ridiculous. Sean says, I'm going to Des Moines shop on Thursday. All right, park in the right spot. All right, Sean? I kind of mentioned this last week, just briefly, but we've kind of closed some of the areas, right? We've closed some of the locations and are placing things elsewhere. So we're looking to build bigger I shouldn't necessarily say build because I don't know if we are building or if we're just looking for a larger, more permanent space. But I do know we're looking for a larger permanent space in the Des Moines area. We have that temporary shop. I say temporary only because we've only had it since, was it 19? Holy smokes. I guess we've had it for like 6 years. But we have that. We're renting it. So leasing that, I should say. So we've been in that facility for a while. But we're going to need a bigger space. It's more of a hub than it's been in the past. So we're going in that area. Yeah, didn't know if you guys knew that. I mentioned it last week, but there's a lot of stuff I was talking about last week. But opening up more areas, trying to focus it on, focus our locations on areas that we are real heavy in, and that you can get the right number of techs for, because even if even if we're heavy freight in one area, if you can't get the techs, you gotta look for alternatives, right? There you go. Yeah, so that shop will be available. Right now, we have the basics there. We do have a car available if you need to, because we don't have washing facilities, like we don't have showers or laundry facilities currently at the Des Moines terminal. So when you do go to the shop there in Des Moines, you can just sign out the car, and then you can go to wherever you need to run your errands. There's a nearby laundry facility as well, so if you're getting work done on your truck, you have access to those things. Trying to make it as currently as convenient as possible for you, until we find that other location. I just know that's in the works. I don't know more beyond that, but yeah. As we grow. Yeah. In Fort Dodge, there's tons of amenities when it comes to like the Obviously the truck wash, but I'm talking more like driver specific amenities as far as your PDA or PDC, um, the kitchenette and the private rooms. We've got the laundry facilities and the showers and all that kind of stuff. I know, Sean, right? But you're bringing the truck home with you now, right? On your home time? A little bit different than before. Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. So that is about it for this week. Stay updated though, because we've got more coming next week. We'll have a lot more for you next week because we're going to be talking more about the driver appreciation. Um, but I want to give another shout out to Mike Snyder. He's on here. If you're still on here, thank you so much for nominating us for the best fleets to drive for again. Ah, fantastic. I don't know if you can get best fleet overall 2 years in a row, but you can at least move towards the like lifetime one. You know, have that title, right? Anyways, we are looking forward to that. There's always more to come on that, so we'll give you additional updates. We're hoping to do the calendar again this year. We'll have more updates for you on that way. So if you have pictures that you want to be entered in, send them my way, marketing@deckermail.com. It needs to be of the truck and landscape, or like, maybe a facility or whatever, but make sure the truck is in it. No people, just truck and trailer, whatever. Yep. It is on your. That's cool. I didn't know that. As far as the license and the physical, yeah, that's convenient. Should be, honestly, for the CDLs. Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. It's already Tuesday. You jumped ahead. So you have a wonderful rest of your week. If you need anything, please reach out to us. Obviously, I'm still checking the comments and stuff, and so I'll be responding to those. But if you want to speak to a recruiter directly, this is the number, if it's flying through, 877-233-2537, which is 877-2-DECKER. Cool? All right. I'll see you next week, if not before. Spend some time on TikTok and visit there. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a wonderful